and welcome to Totally Rovers, a Blackburn Rovers podcast by fans of Blue White Hawks. On our Rovers Roundup, we're going to talk about the game against Oxford for the midweek fixture. And on the pod, there's myself, Luke, and then we've got Liam.
Hello, everybody.
So, how are you doing today?
Yeah, good. A little bit disappointed after the game. I felt like we deserved it. We started slowly, obviously, but I thought towards the end of the game we were deserving. We just looked toothless at times, but we'll discuss that shortly. No, busy week as usual. It's building up towards Christmas, so I'm hectic at where I'm at. How about yourself? How's things for you?
I'm all right. I was a little bit disappointed with the game, but we'll talk about that very shortly. But other than that, I'm absolutely fine. Just getting more stuff ready to move, even though it doesn't look like it in the background. I think
No,
this is the
well,
last time I'm going to be here at the time of recording where I am now. So for those that are like listening, the backdrop for me is going to be different. I don't know what it's going to look
yeah.
like. I don't know,
For
but
those who've been
it'll be
watching the last
different,
couple
obviously.
of episodes,
Yeah,
I'm missing my projector background as well. So I decided to use the projector in the bedroom to watch the Rovers game, and then I watched some more football on it last night. So I just haven't moved it back.
oh,
So
fair enough.
that's all it is. It'll be back there
Your
next
Christmas
episode.
and your Christmas tree's not there, but like you're in a different part of the
Christmas tree's
place. Oh
behind
yeah,
me.
it is there. It is there. Oh right, yeah,
I've
yeah,
just had a slight move around. That's all.
yeah. It's
Slight
just hiding away.
reposition. It's basically I put the matches are there. My chair's usually further back here. You got the background behind me, tree here. Anyway, I'm getting off topic.
Yeah, yeah. We're getting off topic now. Let's get straight onto the game against Oxford. Obviously we're on the back end of the game that got abandoned against Chef Wednesday, but
Yeah.
we talked about that last time, so we don't need to go over that. Before the ball was kicked, what was your expectations of Robbers? You were quite optimistic, weren't you, that we were going to get something
I
against
told you I
Oxford?
fancied us to get a 2-0 win. Whereas you were a bit more reluctant to go down that route and said a draw, if I remember rightly. So
Yeah, I did say a draw, very least, and I did say 1-1 last week, so I was
I was saying
actually
a
right in
2-0.
that respect.
And I was quite confident we could get a 2-0. So for us to come away without the win was quite disappointing for me.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
I felt like we should have been getting a win against a team like Oxford, personal team that's struggling at the
yeah,
moment.
yeah, that's very true. You mean given the form that they've been on as well, particularly away
Yeah,
from home. I think it's the third game, wasn't it, or something like that in recent times that they've picked a point on the road, and that was
yeah.
against us. But then, Ewood Park's not a fortress, is it, at the moment as well? So
Well,
that's
Ewood Park is more like a bouncy castle at the moment rather than a fortress.
yeah, exactly.
Just when
So
you think you're bouncing on the up, you end up deflated.
yeah,
Sorry for the
exactly.
pun. Sorry for the pun.
It's true. It's true though. It's true because when Rovers are expected to do well and get something, we just sort of fall flat on our faces, don't we? I mean, this is real case in point, really. However, if I was told that we were going to get a draw against Oxford, I'd be like, yeah, it's very Blackburn Rovers thing to do. Make it hard work against us, against
If you
teams
were to
around
offer
us.
me a draw against Oxford before ball had been kicked, I'd have turned around and said, "No, I want the 3 points all day long."
Yeah, I
Because
think
the
that would have
team
been
on the
the
performances they've been having recently and the form they've been on, I felt like even though results haven't quite been in our favour, I feel like we've been performing well and we've been deserving of the results that we've had.
yeah. Yeah,
Deserving
I
of the
think
points. Sorry, is what I mean to say.
fair enough. Yeah, I would have like that's not good enough. We're dropping points. The first half, though, I didn't think we were good enough. I thought we were
We
very
were
below
terrible.
par.
We were
Yeah,
terrible. It was
we
very.
just we,
They weren't good though either. It was very cagey, but we were just very sloppy with the ball. They looked like they were the better. In my opinion, they were the better team first half. They didn't really challenge us much in the first half, but they didn't look like doing
yeah.
much either. And we then started to grow into it towards the end of the half, and then don't even know what happened. But
I think the performance in the first half was like what you said. I don't think it didn't we didn't hit the ground running. We weren't on the
yeah,
front foot. We were more on the back foot than anything. We were a bit passive, weren't we, as well, when we were playing in the first half as
oh
well.
yeah,
They just weren't that energy and that fluidity with how we played as well. I mean, chances were few and far between as well. I mean, there was that chance set up by Andrew Johnson, weren't there?
Yeah,
Across the tail of Garnetman, which was saved by Jamie Cummings as well, Oxford keeper. And to be fair, I think he's done none of that. There weren't any other chances. I mean, what only really separated the sides was the goal that Oxford got just before the break. I mean,
and
what
it
was that
wasn't
defending about? I
wasn't
mean, that was
wasn't
really
good defending.
no, that was really poor defending from that set piece. I mean, we were really haphazard with that clearances as well.
Yeah,
They didn't look organised, and it like the clearances was just like, oh, head the ball, hope for the best, or have a brush in it. But luckily, like Kieran Brown was in the right place at the right time and snatched a goal there, weren't he, as well? And
yeah.
then got Rovers behind.
Don't get me wrong.
Well,
Going into
at
half
half time.
time, I think Oxford could have been loving life there because I feel like they were edging the first half. They were slightly the better team. We were good. We were not good at all. We were poor. We made them look better
Yeah,
than they were in that first half because they didn't really test us much. They had quite a few attacks, but nothing really came from. Bit like we've been at times throughout the season. It was the attacks were toothless. Um, and then the
mm,
one goal they did get was from the set piece, sloppy defending. Like I say, we just didn't clear the ball. They kept managing to ping the ball back in there, and eventually it fell, like you say, fell to the right man at the right time, and he finished it well. Can't argue with it. But
no, exactly. I think Oxford showed a bit more hunger and desire to actually get something from the game in that first half. If you were
yeah,
Gary Rowett, you would tell the boys, right, go right, rubbing his hands. This is a bit of taking this. If they're going to play like that in the second half,
yeah,
you know, make them, try and park the bus, try and make it difficult for us to break them down and disrupt the flow of play really, because that's what it was with Oxford. They're
yeah.
fighting for their lives as well. They're fighting to stay up.
Oh, yeah, they'll do anything
And
they
it's
can
a
to try and get a point or
yeah,
3 points or anything they can. Every point matters to
yeah,
them at
and
the moment.
oh yeah, everything to play for. I mean, we've got everything to play for really as well. Because I
No, I
mean,
agree. I agree.
I
We're down
know,
there as well with them, but so they're
yeah,
a team which are new to the championship, so they know they're going to be in a battle this season. So every point's a point gained for them rather than points dropped. Whereas I feel like going off
yeah,
performances we've had recently, some of the results have been points dropped rather than points gained for us.
yeah, 100%. And then obviously we made a run off our own back, didn't we, by going behind just before the
Yeah,
break as well.
poor
But in the
defending,
second,
poor
yeah,
attitude. I felt like it was a poor attitude first off. I genuinely felt
yeah,
like that was the case, and they came out hungry with a desire to try and get something from the game. So
yeah. And what it looked like as well, though, like in the first half, it looked like that we hadn't responded well and took well to the second game of the
the,
season being
the
abandoned
game
due to
being
poor
called off,
weather as
yeah,
well.
it looked like we had
Yeah,
a hangover from that again. Yeah, I must agree.
yeah. I don't think, but as second half went on and how it all transpired, it looked like that we weren't quite hungover from the game being abandoned as it was against Ipswich, to
No,
be honest. But
because that second
as
half, there was only one way that game was going, and it was all about Oxford clinging on for dear lives. We were dominating that second half, absolutely
yeah,
dominating that second half. And no
yeah,
matter
and
what
I
we
think
did,
that
we just could not find the final balls into the box.
yeah, that's true. I think what really helped as well, like with the performances, like we definitely played much better. We were on the front foot, we were chasing the game, and Ishmael made some changes as well, which I think helped.
Yeah,
Campbell coming on, I think Baradji as well coming on. I think they're
yeah,
the changes that really helped in that midfield and in the middle of the park and how the game was dictated by them two really that came on. I know Tavares started in for Forshaw being injured because he's out for a few weeks now after getting a hamstring injury. Thought looked a little bit
yeah.
casual, not a
I
bit
do.
of urgency really.
I think
Gardner
Baradji might have
Hitman,
been the better option to start there, personally, but that was just my thought.
yeah, but when Baradji came on, there was a bit more urgency in him.
Yeah,
There was a bit more fire in his belly.
hungry
But
about
he also
turning
used his
defense
side.
to attack.
Yeah, but he also used his size and strength as well, didn't he? Like when to
This is
like
true.
battle for the ball as well in midfield, which is something I didn't really see much of Baraji in his previous cameos. But I still think there's more to come from Mr. Baraji though,
I completely agree.
as the season goes on.
I
He's
think he'll
still
be a
playing
good
himself
player
in.
for us towards the end of the season.
But I think with Tavares, you know, there's
Again,
not much. Yeah, I've not seen much of him yet to form an opinion on him.
he
But I
needs more
think he
time,
could
I think.
potentially, yeah, like we said, he needs more time. He could potentially be a slow burner. It's like what we said before. Like you get like one or two players that you buy from overseas.
Yeah,
They don't bed themselves in straight away. They don't hit the ground running
no.
straight away.
There
Take
are some that
Tronstad
do
for
hit the ground
example.
running, and then there's some that take the time.
Yeah,
Henrik, for
and then
example, taking his time.
yeah, he could potentially be another well. But like what happened with Tronstad when we first got him. His first
Yeah,
season wasn't particularly a great one, but like the
no,
next season after that, it's like this is the player that we know and love now with Sondre Tronstad. So
yeah,
I'm not predicting it with Tavares, but I'm drawing parallels here. It could potentially
yeah,
be a slow
yeah.
burner
We're
like that, like what
hopeful.
Tronstad was.
We're hopeful. He's only been there for what,
Mm,
4 or 5 months. It could take him a
yeah,
while to.
mm, yeah, exactly. And when Garner Hickman was taken off, there was more composure in that midfield, weren't there, with Baragi and Campbell coming on. And
Yeah,
Campbell, I think the fans at the ground were very happy to see Campbell on as well. There was a bit of belief, a bit
I
of
like the
fire in the
fact he
belly of the
kept
squad.
Maurice
I think
Hooper on as well with Campbell.
yeah,
It
that's a good
seems to be
point as
Maurice
well,
Hooper coming off,
actually.
Campbell coming on, but he kept that extra creativity on there with Maurice Hooper being in there too.
Yeah.
I like
Well,
that.
Morris
That was a
Sheeter,
bold move
yeah,
by him, Phil.
it was good actually. And Baragi played in a deeper role, didn't he, in that midfield,
Yeah,
which actually worked quite well. He was more of a holding midfielder, so he didn't have to do as
but
much
he's very
running.
good at turning a defence into attackers, Baragi, from what I saw as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something you didn't really get with Garner Hickman, though, did you? Because
No,
Garner Hickman is like more passing sideways and passing backwards, and he runs around a lot as well. And if he does go forward, it's
yeah,
usually a long ball rather than a
yeah,
pass. And if it is a pass, it's usually too weighted or it's too long or something like that. He doesn't quite have the composure that Baragi has, and definitely Cantwell.
yeah.
He's
You
not
could
quite a
definitely see there's a
midfielder. I
player
mean,
in Baragi. I will say that
yeah,
much.
yeah. I was quite pleased to see what was there from Baragi as well. Thought the link-up play between him, Cantwell, and Murray worked quite well actually.
Yeah,
Murray running
agreed.
off both of them because, like Ohashi, his other Japanese counterpart, is like a little terrier, isn't he? With how he keeps
Yes,
running and working hard and running at the opposition as well. But we pressed like throughout the second half. We were chasing the game. We were like really trying to get an equaliser. I mean, we had one or two moments, didn't we, as well?
oh yeah,
The one moment was where Yuko Hashi had that header on goal, which was saved by Jack Curry. Sorry, and I got the name wrong of the keeper before in the first attempt by Garner Hickman. It was Jamie Cummings. Sorry, not Jack Curry. And that header wasn't well executed by Ohashi. I thought there wasn't enough. That the direction wasn't right in how it was executed. If that was Andrew Johnson, that would have gone in, I think, or
yeah.
even that would have gone in the net. With that header, and it was a close range header as well. But we could have got that in the net. Could have been like 1-1 then. But then we persevered. We didn't stop and give up.
Oh no, we,
And I
we were
think the press team,
dominant that second half. If we'd have played like
yeah,
that first half, we wouldn't have been losing at half time, in my opinion. We
no,
need to come out like that in the first half, and we didn't do. And that was the problem. Second half, they really give themselves that cattle rod up the backside sort of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Cattle
But
prod,
Ishmael's,
not cattle rod, cattle prod, I'd
yeah,
say.
yeah.
That kick up
Rockets
the
up the
arse, they need.
arses.
Yeah.
Yeah, give him a kick up the
Shock up
arse.
the backside sort of thing. Yeah, come on, move it.
Yeah, go on, move it. And obviously they're pressing and pushing. I think the pressing was the real testing for Oxford at that time as well. They
Yeah.
weren't sure how to deal with us running at them. I think that with Deneve coming on as well, though, when
Did he
Ishmael
good
made
on
that
that, to be
change
fair?
with. Yeah, he did. He put Yuri Ribeiro as the left centre back and took George Pratt off and put
Oh,
Deneve on because,
I think it was on a yellow when he
like,
Pratt. So they had to do something in case he got sent off.
yeah, I don't think it was just that though. I think it was more of an attacking minded
It was an
change as
attacking
well.
minded move,
Like,
I agree. But I think Pratt was also on a
yeah,
yellow. So it was just, we want to press for the game. We don't want to get caught on the counter
mm,
attack here. If Pratt gets caught out on a counter attack, risks getting another yellow. I think it was just a very smart game plan.
yeah. Not only that, Ribeiro is not more of an attacking minded player, is he, when it comes
No.
to being a wing back? He's more defensively minded because by nature he's the fullback, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's more defensively minded. It's not. There's nothing wrong against that. That's just how Ribeiro is. At the end
He
of the
can
day.
go forward. He's just not as creative going forward as some of the others.
No, his skill set lies with being more defensive.
Yeah.
That's just how it is with Ribeiro. And Deneve could do the pushing the ball forward. I think that helped as well with him having that pace out wide, and then obviously Alabioso out on the other side. You know, it helps with that attacking reinforcements, like to chase the game and try and get something out of it. But
Yeah.
obviously the pressing and running at the opposition, the perseverance did eventually pay off, didn't it? Because
Yeah. Absolutely.
we've got a penalty with Jack Curry handball when is it when the ball got off Morishita, ain't it? Morishita was absolutely appealing for that, man. It's like, oh come on, shouting that claim for a penalty.
Yeah.
He looked so animated on the pitch when called
He
for that
was
as well.
determined. He was determined it was a penalty. He was determined that we deserved it, that it should be given. He was just. He was like, "Come on, man, come on."
Come on, that was handball. Come on, come on. You don't see that? You don't see that? Yeah, he was just like really like shouting the odds about it, man. It's like a little dog like yapping away
Yeah,
to
like a terrier.
yeah, like a little terrier, like what we described him in Owashi like many times. And obviously the penalty was awarded. I wasn't sure he was going to take it before
To be fair, I
it was
wasn't.
Campbell. Who did you think was going to take it before Campbell took it?
Who do you think?
I thought Andrew Johnson.
So that was my first instinct, but then I thought Campbell has taken penalties for us beforehand, and he's Mr.
That's
Cool as you
true.
like. He's Mr. Cool as you like, cool as a cucumber. If there's any man you want taking a penalty when you needed a goal,
But Owashi's took penalties
that
as
was why
well.
I thought it weren't a bad shout for Todd Campbell to be taking the pen. If I'm honest with you,
Yeah, and it's his experience as well. You know,
that's
he's
exactly
one of
what
the
I was
players who
thinking.
rises to the occasion as well, and he's our
It was
scapegoat
always
as well.
between him and Johnson, in my opinion, but I just felt Campbell was going to be the one. I honestly
Yeah,
deep down thought Campbell would be the one to take it.
yeah. And then
Big
obviously he
moment like that,
slotted
but
it
when you
in.
need a goal, you need your guy who's got the experience, got the composure, cool as a cucumber, steps up, slots it away. Nice as you like.
Yeah,
Game on, let's go
mm,
home and let's get on and win this one and bring it home. And no matter how many times he pushed and scrapped and everything else to try and get that second goal, Oxford threw bodies on the line, did everything they possibly could to try and keep us at bay. A couple of tactical fouls in there, you name it. Fair play to them because they dug in deep and they hung on well. That's
yeah.
towards the end.
And to be fair to Oxford, they did actually like hold on well for that. They just tried
Yeah.
to outmuscle us and disrupt our flow of play
Oh yeah.
to stop us
They
trying
were
to get a
brilliant
second goal.
defensively. Once we got that
Yeah,
equaliser, they were brilliant defensively.
yeah. They knew that
We were
like this is
wasting
right.
some
This
chances.
mm, yeah,
But
I think that come back to haunt us, didn't it? The
yeah,
wasted chances, like Gardner Hitman's close range shot on goal, and then
yeah,
Olash's header, which were both saved by what's the keeper's name again? By Jamie Cummings. So I think that this is the story of the season so far with Rovers, isn't it?
yeah,
We have them chances and don't take it. But unfortunately, where points are dropped, it's not a case of lose. It's more of losing the game rather
yeah.
than just like at least we got a point, you know, with this game. I would say this is a point gain more than 2 points dropped, given that we were in a losing position. And
Start of
the
the
fact
game
that it
though,
was quite
if start of the game, I was always wanting 3 points. So from a losing position, yes, okay. The minimum I wanted there was a draw. I felt the minimum we should be aiming for was a draw here. We shouldn't be
yeah.
we shouldn't be losing this game, even with them being 1-0 up. We shouldn't be losing this game. I'd have liked to have walked away with 3 points still. So to me, personally, I don't feel like it's 1 point gained. No, I know you disagree with me, and this is why we work so well because we have our own opinions, and I love it. We have
Yeah, I
different
think
opinions. I
yeah.
genuinely still feel it was 2 points dropped because we just wasn't clinical enough, and we were
Yeah,
too
we were
slow to get going in the first half.
yeah. That's worth fair point of saying 2 points dropped. But given that like we were in a losing position and we scored late on,
Yeah,
it's like the least we could get now here is a point. The least we should get here is a point at that moment in time. And
No, I
if we
get what you're
were
saying.
in a winning position, you know, and then
Yeah.
they equalised, I would say it's 3 points dropped rather than 1 point gained here. And given that there weren't much time to actually get a second goal, despite Rovers trying for it, I'd say it's a point salvaged with that game against
Oh,
Oxford.
we definitely salvaged a point out of the game, but I felt like
Yeah,
the way we played that second half, I felt like we should have been getting more out of it. I just felt there was
yeah,
a lack of final product, and we should never put ourselves in that position where we were chasing the game in the first place. That's just my intake on it. Now,
yeah,
nothing against Oxford. They were the better team in the first half. I can't argue with that. They came with a bit of fight about them. Fair play to them. And no game's guaranteed. Absolutely not. I just felt first off we just didn't show up and they would look more hungry. They took the chance well when we couldn't clear our lines. They kept the pinging the ball back in and eventually it fell nicely, sweetly. Tucked it away. Second half, it was all about us. But that final product just wasn't there at times. Like I say, we got the penalty to get back into the game. But apart from that, as much as we knocked on the door, I couldn't see where the door was going to get opened. I really couldn't.
yeah. Yeah, there wasn't. It looked like that we weren't going to score a goal at all. Take the penalty out of the equation.
Yeah.
Totally on board with that. It looked like this. We're not going to score here. We're going to try so hard. Just no killer edge product on there as well.
Which is a shame because we've had
It's
some
like
really
what
good games recently. Played well.
yeah, exactly. But it's like what I said about Olashi. He's just not got that killer edge for me when it comes to scoring goals.
Mm.
You know, he doesn't quite have that power, the powerful shots. You know what I mean? Like what good Johnson would have, or even like Tronstad does when like trying to score a goal, for example.
Yeah.
But he works hard. I mean, he was good as always with his performance and his work rate. I mean, I couldn't fault him for that. I mean, he always tries. You can't like hold that against him. But it's just an observation here. I don't want to sound like I'm roasting him, but he just doesn't have quite have that killer edge when it comes to scoring goals. But also, like, what's another plus point as well is that I know we're not winning games at home, but we are picking up results at home. You know, we've got
Mm.
back-to-back draws at Ewood now, so
No, fair enough.
suppose that's a step in the right direction, I suppose. And I know the attendances wasn't great, which I can
I think
understand why, but
I
that's
think
another
the
topic for
attendance
another
weren't.
day.
I think the attendance weren't great because not only was it a midweek game, so people are making the effort to come out there, but the weather had been terrible on Tuesday, absolutely terrible. We had a storm over the weekend. Yet again, like I mean, I know the game got called off on the Saturday, but then on the Sunday night, Monday when we got the worst of that storm that came. It was non-stop rain most of Tuesday. I got caught in it walking the dog. It was horrific. I've never seen it. It was unreal. The wind was that strong. It was blowing my bins down the street and all sorts. It was crazy. So the heavy rain we had, I honestly thought we might get another game called off here. I generally was thinking that was the case. And the rain kind of stopped about 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. So the pitch would have been absolutely sodden, but they obviously must have got it water cleared by the time kickoff came. But I
Yeah,
can
it
understand why
dried
fans
up by
weren't
then as
going.
well.
I can understand why fans weren't willing to go because of how heavy that rain had been. They were probably expecting it to get called off again.
Yeah, it would have been on the back burner of the fans as well, like throughout the day, going, should I go to watch Rovers? You know, it's Tuesday night, it's gonna be late, it's gonna be cold. And
And
then
it might
like we said,
well get called off because
yeah,
of how much rain we've
yeah,
had.
yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. They would have had it on the back burner that the game could have been called off. So, and like you know what they say, comes in threes. Could this have been the third time it would have
Mm.
happened? But thankfully it didn't, because it all cleared up back then as well. By the
I was
time the game
surprised
kicked
though
off,
that they got
dried
the
up.
pitch sorted for it in time because, like I said, it had come down. I mean, my local park field where I take the dogs to play ball, it is like a swamp there at the moment, and that's after 2 days of not raining now.
Yeah, of course. Speaking of the pitch as well, the club actually did release a statement, didn't they, as well,
Yeah.
um, about it as well. They said Blackburn Rovers wishes to stress that the club shares frustrations felt by supporters following the abandonment of Saturday's Championship fixture against Sheffield Wednesday. Following the abandonment of our home fixture against Ipswich Town in September, the club engaged leading drainage specialists to assess and implement measures aimed at improving the pitch's ability to withstand periods of heavy rain. But I'll continue another bit on there. And they said that the club is treating this matter with the utmost seriousness and is committed to doing everything in its power to address the current concerns regarding the pitch while balancing time constraints, the congested fixture schedule, and the significant financial implications it involved. And the club also continues saying, however, we also recognise that the weather conditions can present challenges that are at times beyond the club's control. The club is currently awaiting guidance from the EFL board regarding the Sheffield Wednesday fixture and will provide a further update to supporters once it's been confirmed.
I think the other way you can
So,
look at this as well, if they were to have work done on the drainage now, it would mess up the pitch more. I mean, the pitch might end up being having to turfed up and all that lot to fix it, which could then mean that we can't play the games. And with it being a hectic schedule on the build up to Christmas and December, January, and you get all your heavy, hectic schedule, it's one of them periods of time. It's the worst time to be even thinking about doing any work on a pitch. That's when the pitch usually gets worked on in the summer, in the off season. So
yeah,
yes, we've had this weather that we weren't predicting to cause so much chaos. To get it fixed and sorted now would make it more difficult for us because of the fact of the game schedules.
yeah. The club has also made some rearrangements, haven't they, with like the academy players playing their matches in like under 18s, under 23s,
Yeah.
under 21s, etc. They actually moved a game. I think it was for under 18s. So we played at Chorley's ground, so that allow some work to be done on a bit of maintenance on the pitch and adjustments
Yeah.
to the pitch as well at Ewood Park. So while the championship fixtures are happening as well, because the game's coming thick and fast in championship,
Oh yeah,
particularly
like
this
every
month.
3 games at the moment.
Yeah,
Every 3 days,
exactly,
sorry.
exactly. So they need to like find the time to actually do it by making them rearrangements, and obviously that's that done with the pitch. There is some other updates as well. Sondre Tronstad should be coming back this weekend
Yes.
against Portsmouth at the earliest. I mean, Ishmael confirmed that he's optimistic. Your favourite word on Sonny's return this weekend. I mean, that'll be a welcome return with Tronstad coming back. I mean, he's been missed.
Completely agree.
Definitely our part on that midfield. You know, Cantwell's coming back. Now Tronstad's coming back. That is a big boost for Rovers. Of course, after the end of the game against Oxford, we were down to 20th, 5 points from the drop.
Game in hand off.
And game in hand, of course, yeah. That's from the game being abandoned against Sheff Wednesday. The next game, of course, is obviously going to be a really crucial one because we're on the road. It's a long trip down south to Fratton Park against Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Now, they're going to be they're like Oxford. They're fighting for their lives
Yeah.
to stay up.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at that end of the table. But when I looked at the table, yes, we are down there. But when I looked at it, I think we're still only like 11 points off 6th spot. You win your game in hand, you're 8 points off. So that's just showing you how congested it is from the relegation zone to the playoffs. It is very congested. And one win or a couple of wins can change everything. It's crazy how the season's going. That's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is very congested as well because look, you get a few wins and you can get yourselves right up there. It's very tight and congested, like you said.
Yeah. A
But
couple of wins can change everything.
it's really true in what you said there. It's really congested, this league. A few wins can make a big difference, but
Absolutely.
a losing streak is another one. Like,
Oh, yeah. And a few losses can change everything. It's crazy how the league's going this season.
it's a much more open playing field, and I think that's what makes the championship a much more exciting league as well this season
Absolutely.
going round.
I
Yeah.
was just about to go on to that then. As you alluded to, our next game with Portsmouth, what is your predictions or what are you expecting from that game?
Well, we've got a very good away form, so that's something to factor in.
Yeah.
But Fratton Park isn't quite the fortress that it was last season for Portsmouth. Portsmouth are struggling at the moment. I mean, they've only won 1 in their last 6 games,
Yeah.
but they have lost 4 and drawn 1. The last game was away to Swansea, where they lost 1-0. I mean, that was a 6-pointer against Swansea with that game. But they are struggling to score goals. as well.
They'll be looking at us as a 6-pointer, and we'll be looking at them as a 6-pointer. So it'll be an
100%.
interesting game.
Yeah, but I think our away form would probably give Rovers fans probably a bit more hope as well that we can do all right.
Performances as well, because we have played well, even at home. We've been playing well recently. Okay, we were terrible the first half against Oxford, but that second half, we were very much the better team. The game against Ipswich, we were by far the better team, and yet we came out with a draw because of the 94th minute bloody equaliser where we switched off. But we were the dominant team for 90%, 95% of that game. So we could take these performances from home, the form we've got away, go down there and go get a result.
We just need to make sure that keep our concentration levels up, because the game, when we conceded that goal against Oxford, that was a lapse of concentration.
Oh yeah,
that was a momentary lapse of concentration. Ipswich game, lapse of concentration. Wrexham, you could probably say that as well. I know the decisions were dubious against us in that Wrexham game.
Well, the decisions in the Ipswich game are dubious as well, but there you go.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But we did have a rub of the green with that penalty being given to us against Oxford. So I suppose we have got a rub of the green.
We finally got something in our favour for once.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for once. Definitely. Obviously, speaking of Rovers and Pompey, the classic one, of course, is Chris Kamara, isn't it, with the red card?
Oh yeah.
And
did it?
Thinking a
Did
player
it? Oh yeah, off the pitch.
I don't know, Chef. I don't know, Chef. And then he thought it was substitution when it was actually a red card.
I mean, it's off the pitch. I just thought it was sub. And
Jeff Stone said, "Cutting edge reports as always on Soccer Saturday."
Mm.
That'll always be etching.
That'll always find its way back to the surface every so often. It's just one of those iconic moments in football.
I do miss Soccer Saturday though.
I do miss Soccer Saturday, and I do miss Cammy and Jeff Stelling and co.
Yeah, and Paul Merson and Matt Letitia and Charlie Nicholas. We forgot to do the predictions, didn't we, with Portsmouth?
I'm gonna say a win. I'm gonna say a win. So I'm gonna go 2-1 Rovers.
2-1 Rovers. Oh, I think it'd be a tough one. But our away form's very good at the moment this season. I think we're the third best team in the Championship when it comes to our away form at the time of recording.
Yeah.
I am going to go, I think because of our away form, I think because we dropped points against Oxford, there are not going to be as much expectations. So, I think Rovers could snatch a win. I think it'd be a scrappy win. But we've not got a good record at Fratton Park, so that's something that's on the back burner as well. Because we did lose 1-0 last time round, and Ishmael was actually in charge last season when we played at Fratton Park. You know, when it was on that bad run. It's either going to be a 0-0 draw, or Rovers could snatch a win with 1 goal.
Well, as you were saying before, Portsmouth don't score many goals at the moment, but I do feel with the way that Rovers are conceding sloppy goals, I can just see it happening where they finally get a goal against us, which is why I said a 2-1, because I still think we'll win, but I think they'll score a goal against us.
But away from home, we are getting clean sheets away from home.
We are.
That's something to factor in as well. We got a clean sheet against Leicester, clean sheet against Hull.
But the Wrexham goal sticks in my mind. 94th minute and then 94th minute Ipswich.
Yeah, a late goal. Yeah, the late goal's playing the back burner.
I'm hoping we could be 2 ahead by the time they get the late goal.
Yeah. And we also got, they just said clean sheets. I said Leicester, Watford, Hull, Bristol City. We've got a clean sheet as well. We've not got any clean sheets at home. So all our clean sheets are away from home. So
we beat Southampton away with a clean sheet.
No, we're 2-1.
Was it 2-1? Why did I have it in my head?
Yeah.
I don't know what I was. It was 2-1 as well, now that I think about it. You're right.
Yeah, we haven't had a clean sheet at home. I think away from home, we just seem to play better. We just seem to have that freedom because, like, the expectations aren't on us. The onus is more on the home teams that we go away to.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like as well with Rovers as well. So that influences my decision on how we could possibly get something against Portsmouth as well. Given our away form and how tight will be.
I think we
tend to be better.
Covered it.
So that wraps everything up, doesn't it? So what was your thoughts on the Oxford game? Who do you think is going to be in our starting 11 against Portsmouth? And what do you think the predictions are going to be with the score against Pompey away? Do you think we can continue our good away form? Let us know down in the comment section. So that's all for our Rovers Roundup. Thanks for watching or thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. So take care, everyone.
Cheerio, everybody.